And we are back with Lisa Watersgarden. She comes each week. And this is her segment, just gardening from another perspective. What's that, brother from another mother or something like that? Or I was watching a war movie last night.
Yeah.
What
Okay.
was I watching? Oh, the Professionals, a 1968 classic Western. It was awesome. Anyway, I'd never seen it before, so it wasn't that
I've
good.
never
But
even heard of it
it was
before.
old school.
Okay.
Anyway, gardening.
And that has to do with gardening.
Not one bit. Just that's my ADD kicking in. I didn't med today. I should have taken that extra. No,
Less
just kidding.
coffee.
Yeah, less coffee. Maybe that's it. So what do you got for us?
Well, this week we unloaded a spectacular truck full of beautiful perennials.
Yeah.
So perennials are those plants that come back every year.
Yep.
We got sun perennials, we got shade perennials, some that can take a mix. But these are just beautiful over the top. They're not an itty bitty little plug putting into a pot. I mean, they're actually full grown in the pot.
Yeah.
Spectacular.
These are like 3-year-old perennials. These are like substantial. I mean, they're like instant. I mean, they're huge.
Yeah.
So a box store would never touch these because they just don't turn as fast.
We'll show them an example. So this is an example of the heuchera. And the heuchera, we got, I think, 10 different varieties of heuchera.
That's ridiculous.
Now, why? I don't know. But we have 10 different varieties. This one's one of my favorite. This one is the Rio Coral Bells. I just love the color on it. And when you think about, you could put blues with that. You could put, they make another heuchera that's kind of a lime green.
Yeah.
That would be gorgeous.
I like the black ones. Black
yellow
ones with white flowers.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they're so pretty.
There's just 10 different varieties of the heuchera. And the heucheras, I've always said, like a little more shade. But then one year you threw one in a pot on the back patio that was
full sun.
Full sun.
Crazy sun.
On a patio. And it did beautifully.
It was prettier than ever.
So I think they're pretty versatile. They're a lot more than just that shade that we always think they need.
Yeah.
I think I have a couple out front too that get full sun.
Full sun.
So I think you could definitely put them into a more sunny spot, especially if you're mixing them with other perennials. I think they'd be really happy.
They call these, your grandparents called them coral bells, because you'll see for you folks that are watching the video, it's got a flower that comes back and kind of curls over, or that's the coral bell. You're really planting this for the foliage of black and copper and green and blue and chartreuse.
It's just, there's not many plants that give you the leaves with that such beautiful color.
I can say that the one that we had in the pot last year, it put on hundreds of flowers. And if I went through and every couple of weeks and deadheaded or pinched off the spent ones, it just went right back into flowers. Crazy. But the foliage is what you're really after.
Right. And it's spectacular. And it's huge. I mean, that's instantaneous. You're filling a pot.
Yeah. This is
or
one
a perennial bed
pot.
pretty quick.
Yeah. This is perennials on steroids.
Yes.
Here at wattersgardencenter, 2 different varieties of just heuchera. There was a whole semi-load of nothing but perennials that came in.
Yeah. So that's the heuchera. We also got Hosta in. We got 4 different varieties of Hosta, which Hosta truly is a shade plant. Great for underplantings, under trees, those shadier, darker areas of your yard. And they come up with some really nice color. They're usually greens and whites and yellows, but the combinations are interesting. You're holding the lavender. So this one is the platinum blonde lavender.
Yep. Sorry. Didn't mean to flash your head, showing it off. It's in the studio.
Yes, we did get 4 different varieties of lavender. I love this one because of the yellow in it.
Yeah.
Some people just have a real aversion to yellow, but out in the yard, it just shows up so nicely. I think we have this on the side of our house. Yeah. In our herb garden along the side of the house. But just a good standard. I think we also got the Grosso, the Phenomena. We got 3 or 4 different varieties.
10 different varieties of lavender.
No, we only got 3 with the lavender.
Well, there's another 10 varieties out there. There's English, French, Spanish, 2 different varieties. There's Ghost, which is a new variety of white lavender or silver lavender. It's very unusual.
Very pretty.
What color? What size flower is this? Like a Spanish?
No, it's not a Spanish. It's the long, skinny,
like a French or English lavender, which means it's really tough. I can tell you, we've grown this one super tough. You cannot kill it. And I think the place to use yellow, especially these plants that love the heat, we've got so much chocolate earth tone rock around here, these dark colored rocks, which reflect so much heat. And you can get too much earth tone. And that's where those bright, if you put blue with more earth tone, it just fades in. But these brighter whites, golds, silvers, they pop against that rock lawn. And that's the way you design with some of these plants.
Right. So that one's platinum blonde. Very, very pretty.
Ooh, another idea.
Oh, okay.
Cobalt blue container.
Oh, it'd be beautiful.
With this gold foliage, and the blue flower would be striking. Yeah, it would be striking. Yeah. Anyway.
Be a good Mother's Day gift. That one's platinum blonde lavender.
Oh, Mother's Day. That's good. Mother's Day gift. Yeah.
Mother's Day's a coming. What else do we get? We got some upright phlox, which is the tall growing upright phlox. Usually has the bright pinks and blues and lavender flowers on it. Great for those perennial beds. Go towards the middle to the back because they do get fairly tall.
Yeah, they get knee high pretty quickly, like right now.
They do. Yeah, we got 5.
5 varieties.
5 colors.
You already had 3 in the garden, and now you got 8 varieties.
So
it's
some
perennial
real
season.
pretty color. It is getting to be perennial season. So you're holding a lupin.
Yep.
Which is a nice little wildflower. Does very well
tall, it's hard to show off on the camera.
That one's just starting to open. You can kind of see the colors on it. And I think that's majestic something or other.
It's majestic. It's Manhattan Lights. West County Manhattan Lights.
Yeah.
So the camera can kind of just starting to open up.
But
it's this tall. It's probably 2 feet tall. It'll be 3 feet by the time we're all done. Beautiful, like almost looks like a house plant with a spectacular spire of a flower on top of it. This blue, it's going to be bright, like pink blue, or is pink blue a disguise? Pink blue. That's not. I'm such a man. I can't describe.
Isn't that
colors.
called purple or something?
Yeah.
But we got 4 different colors of lupin.
Wow.
So lots to choose from. Put one of each or mix and match. So definitely check those out.
This is a shade plant, right? This is a
shade
lover.
I think it's going to do better in the shade.
And I would say it's so tall, probably not where wind tunnel is going to hit. You have to stake it if you're going to do that. I want to kind of like a foxglove. I see that. Kind of put these together. This would look really good with that coral bell or hooker you had together.
Yeah.
A little that kind of copper color with this purple flower. Oh my gosh, that'd be beautiful.
It would be in a pretty big pot.
In a pretty big or raised bed or container. That's by the front door, that overhang.
Oh yeah.
It'd be beautiful.
That would work. So lupin, definitely a little more shade, I would say. We also got in some beautiful sedum and succulent varieties. I didn't bring any over because my hands were full. But these fill the pot. I mean, you're talking a pot that size, and the plant is completely filling.
Now you got to remember, this is going over the airwaves too. So it's just you're talking the video. It's a 2-gallon size pot. It's 3 times the size of the normal things you're going to find at some box store. Here it is on stair. It's like instantaneous. One plant fills up the garden. Right. And these are the plants. They cost a little bit more, perennials, but they last for years. They are the longest living. I mean, peonies can live for 20, 30, 50 years. So they're very long lived. So you're a little bit more investment up front, and they last so much longer. They're the anchors of the garden. Right.
I agree. We use a lot of perennials in containers, and a lot of times we'll just mix them in with some annuals in there at the same time. So you can definitely do that. But the sedums, I think I lost count actually of all the different sedums. But the colors, the colors are so unique and so beautiful, and can be used in such wonderful combinations. You know, you're not just throwing one pot out there. You're mixing and matching and making them really pretty. I love are we almost out of time?
I'm just thinking rock gardens. We should mention rock gardens, heat, and sedums for you folks from California. Those varieties won't grow here, but the ones we brought in, these are the hardy ones that will winter over for you. Definitely. Now we're out of time.
Okay.
Thank you, Lisa. Love your passion for perennials here in the studio. Ken and Lisa Lane and the Mountain Gardeners. Be right back after this.